The Child Victims Act passed unanimously in the state Senate, but it still remains unsigned by Governor Andrew Cuomo, leaving many victims wondering what's the holdup. Eyewitness News reporter Marley Tuskus explains what the bill is and what it will change once the pen hits the paper.
Following years of holdout from the state Senate, last week the legislature passed the Child Victims Act, sending it to Governor Cuomo's desk where it now awaits a signature.
It extends the statute of limitations for certain crimes, specifically sex crimes against children, so that the person that is the victim, okay, can literally come forward 10 years after they turn 18. So basically the statute of limitations runs until the person is 28 years old.
Previously, the statute of limitations was 5 years. McNamara says this change allows victims who may not have come forward when they were younger to do so now.
That's very helpful to victims. There are a lot of studies and there's a lot of evidence that shows that children typically do not disclose the crime immediately.
But this could also make it more difficult for prosecutors.
The problem with any crime, the older it gets, the more difficult it gets to prove. When you're talking about sex crimes in particular, generally speaking, the evidence that we can collect close to the time of the incident is very powerful in a courtroom. As you go on in time, that evidence no longer exists.
McNamara says this means their office will just have to adapt on how they handle these types of investigations, something members of the District Attorneys Association of New York addressed when discussing this legislation.
We do work on supporting things, and obviously this is something that I think is very beneficial to victims.
Reporting, Marley Tuskus, Eyewitness News.